You know, we all chase those airline miles, right? That feeling of getting an upgrade or hitting that next elite status. But have you ever stopped to think about the powerful, kind of hidden engine that makes it all work? It's not just clever marketing, it's a brilliant piece of technology we're going to dive into today, the frequent flyer database.
It's a simple question, but for the airline industry, it's worth billions of dollars. With so many choices out there, what really makes you pick one airline over another, again and again? Well, the answer isn't just about friendly service or getting a better price. It's about a genius data strategy that was actually born out of total chaos.
So, to really understand how this powerful tool was even created, we first need to get a handle on the problem it was designed to solve. And for that, we've got to go back to the early 1980s, a time of massive upheaval in the airline world.
See, before the late 70s, the government pretty much controlled everything. Airline routes, fares, the whole shebang. But after deregulation, the industry just exploded into a complete free-for-all. New airlines were popping up everywhere, and suddenly they were all fighting tooth and nail for the exact same passengers. In this new world, loyalty wasn't a given anymore. It had to be earned, or, as we're about to see, engineered.
So, faced with this brand new battleground, the winning idea wasn't going to be a faster plane or a fancier meal. Nope. It was something totally invisible to the passenger, but way more powerful. It was a whole new kind of database.
And then, in 1981, American Airlines launched AAdvantage, and it basically provided the blueprint for the entire industry. The idea was so powerful, it created this huge tidal wave. Within just a few years, loyalty programs went from being a clever marketing gimmick to an absolute necessity for survival. And let's be really clear here, this was not just some mailing list, not even close. This was a dynamic system, built from the ground up to do one thing exceptionally well. Watch your travel habits, learn your patterns, and then use that knowledge to create personalized incentives that keep you flying with them. And this is where the real genius is, the sheer level of detail. I mean, the database didn't just know you flew from New York to LA. It knew you flew business class. It knew you were only 5,000 miles away from hitting gold status. And it knew that you always redeem your miles for hotel stays. It was building this incredibly detailed, granular profile of you as a traveler.
So this brings us to the real power of this whole invention. You know, collecting data is one thing, but actually using it is something else entirely. This data wasn't just sitting in a file somewhere. It was being actively put to work, subtly influencing the choices every single passenger was making. You can really see the shift in thinking right here. The old way was just passive record keeping, basically a digital filing cabinet of who flew where. But the new model, it was active, it was predictive. The entire system was built to answer one single question. How do we get this person to fly with us again? It wasn't a history log, it was a behavioral engine.
And this created this incredibly powerful psychological engine that you could call the loyalty loop. It's a perfect, self-reinforcing cycle. You fly, you get miles. You see that little progress bar inching closer to the next status tier, so maybe you book that extra trip you were on the fence about. Then the database instantly recognizes your achievement and rewards you. That little hit of dopamine you get from the reward makes you want to start the whole loop all over again. It's just brilliant gamification, really. But that was just the beginning. I mean, these databases, they didn't stay locked up in their own little airline silos for long. In the 1990s, they started connecting to each other, creating this vast and powerful ecosystem of data.
So, throughout the 90s, the system just exploded. First, you had airline alliances letting you share miles. Then came the true master stroke, co-branded credit cards. All of a sudden, the database wasn't just tracking your flights anymore, it was tracking the coffee you bought, your groceries. Before you knew it, hotels and car rentals jumped in, and the frequent flyer database became the center of this massive, interconnected travel ecosystem.
And with every single new connection, the data became exponentially more valuable. It wasn't just about your travel patterns anymore, it was about your entire lifestyle. This was no longer just a customer list, it was a goldmine for analytics, for super targeted marketing, and for creating completely new ways to make money. So, what was the ultimate impact of all this? Well, it was a fundamental shift in how businesses see their customers, transforming them from just anonymous passengers into these detailed, predictable profiles. This really just captures that whole transformation perfectly. You are no longer just a passenger on Flight 456. You became a living, breathing, evolving data profile. And miles? They stopped being a simple thank you. They became a whole new kind of currency,
one that you could earn and spend across this huge digital economy.
And the impact was absolutely massive. This new mileage currency completely reshaped the economics of the entire industry. It basically created the field of modern data analytics, it allowed airlines to target offers with surgical precision, and it built this whole web of partnerships that defines how we travel even today.
And that kind of brings us full circle. The logic that was pioneered by those airline databases way back in the 80s is now the blueprint for almost all of modern commerce. Think about it. Your coffee shop, your grocery store, your ride-sharing app, they all run on the exact same principle. Track behavior, build a profile, and use it to shape your loyalty. The airlines may have invented the game, but now we're all playing it. The sky was just the beginning.